Well, hello, everyone. We are so excited to be here with a wonderful webinar for today. My name is Christy Choice, and I'm on the professional services team here at Tenstreet, and we have got a treat for you, okay? It's been a while since I've done a webinar. I feel a little rusty, but I feel like you all are going to be very gracious and allow me to just do the things, so thank you for that. Okay, so this webinar is going for gold. This is adopting Tenstreet's new features for a winning strategy. We want you to win, and every single year we roll out a brand new set of tools and updates to your current existing configuration, and we are excited to share all about them. Now, today, I am joined by none other than two of our amazing product specialists. We have Amanda Bebee, we're just going to call her Bebee, and we have Karley Ullery with me today. So you're going to hear from me, but you are going to hear from them as well as we move forward. Now, before we jump in, I want to just give some really quick housekeeping rules for us, okay? The first is welcome. We're glad you're here. We want this to be an exciting learning experience for each of you. So interact with us. We have a poll that we're going to do. There's a handout available. But if you have questions as we move forward today, please go into the GoToWebinar control panel, wherever it is. I don't know where mine is. You can go into the questions box and type your question, okay? We want to get your questions answered, so make sure you use that feature to interact with us, okay? Now, you are going to also receive a copy of this recording about 24 hours from the conclusion of today's webinar, okay? So be on the lookout for it. Make sure you replay it back and share it. But we're excited to be using this platform and want you to know that we've got you covered with that copy of the recording, okay? Now, we want you to interact with us and use the questions box. We're glad you're here. You're going to get a copy of the recording, but I want you to hold on to your butts because we're going to show you some really cool things, and we are going to do a demo at the end, okay? And so really quickly, I want Karley and Amanda just to unmute for a second and just say hi to the folks. Just say hi. That's it.
Hi, everyone.
All right, that was Karley. Wonderful. Okay, Bebee, where are you?
Hello.
All right, awesome. And so they are two, again, product specialists that are really instrumental in helping move the Tenstreet platform forward by organizing and putting out all these awesome updates. And so they're going to do a demo for us a little bit later today. But let's go on to the next slide, Karley, because we want to show you a little bit of some of the new tools, okay? So we're doing a split screen thing here. So in the GoToWebinar control panel, you can control the zoom on your screen. So if you need to see something a little bit more, you can do that. There's also a really cool screenshot feature that you can use, and what it'll do is it'll take a picture of whatever's on the screen and it'll save it to your desktop. So, you know, we're all about using technology smarter, and so use those features that are in the GoToWebinar screen to your advantage, okay? Now we're going to jump on in and start talking about what's new in Driver Pulse for carriers, okay? So Pulse Plus, PulseChat, PulseBot. You think we use the word pulse much? Yes, we do, and we absolutely love it, okay? There's also pre-application messaging and structured messaging. Now, we're going to go through all of that today, but Pulse Plus is our comprehensive communication platform that leverages that Gen AI for enhanced automation and engagement, and it includes several features. So if you're looking at the screen that Karley is showing us right now, you can see across the top, there's PulseChat. And this is where you're going to see all different messages, like the Pulse messages. Before, they were only like going to a specific person. You had to look at the driver and see it individually. Now, all of those messages funnel into one location for ease of management and review, okay? And so that's PulseBot. There's also PulseNav, PulseChat. Goodness, that's what I was saying. So now we're going to look at PulseNav. This is a navigation hub for your drivers who use Driver Pulse, an easy way for you to send out routes. It's really cool. Next, we're going to take a look at PulseBot. Okay. Now, PulseBot is where you are going to do some good damage, okay? So this is going to be so amazing. But PulseBot is how you can respond to applicant questions after hours and on weekends with messages that are preloaded based on your own company policies. We even have some settings and some mechanisms in here that help you set the parameters for when you want PulseBot to respond. And there's even a sandbox for you to test out PulseBot. Okay, it's really, really cool. And if you didn't notice, Karley, I want you to go to the top left corner and show them that Pulse Plus is its own individual tab. Okay, so if you're wondering how we got here, you likely have access to it already. You're going to go up to the top left corner and go to Pulse Plus to see the full suite of Pulse Plus. Okay, all right. And so we talked about Pulse Plus, PulseChat, PulseBot. Let's talk about pre-application messaging. So this is a new feature that's available for drivers to be able to ask you questions before, okay, before they submit an application. Now, we believe that this feature is absolutely revolutionary because sometimes someone just wants to know the answer to a very simple question that's relevant to them as they search for their next employment. And this way, they can go in Driver Pulse to your company and they can select from a list of preference questions and shoot that question off to you. You can respond, get them the information they need. Hopefully, you make a match, but if you don't, you can wish them well as they continue their search. It is a really, really revolutionary feature, and we're excited about the ease of use for Pulse app, the Pulse chat, but also pre-app messaging. Okay. Now, the last thing we're going to cover really, really quickly here is just structured messaging. We're going to do a demo a little bit later, okay? But for structured messaging, this is a way for you to request and provide information using customizably pre-programmed messages. This is going to save you so much time. It's going to also remove ambiguity all across the dashboard. So what Karley is showing us here is how from within the communications view, you can initiate a structured message to a candidate, okay? And these are messages that are controlled by you. We start everyone off with the same 10 or 11, right? It's, you have a few that you already have at your disposal, but you can update them, and it's really, really fun and easy to work with. But also, again, the whole idea is that structured messaging is going to save you time. And we're using the structured messaging functionality in various places throughout the dashboard. So we're super excited about it. Now, before we go any farther, what I want to do is I want to launch a poll. I'm interested to know like what you're most excited to see. We've been sending out blog posts and login notices, and we had a checklist that was up in the dashboard a little bit. We're excited about these new features. And so you've probably already seen or heard a little bit. And so right now, I want you to answer really quickly for me. What are you most excited to see today? Okay, structured messaging. Now, I just told you about it, but we're planning to show you in a little bit. But there's also some safety updates, including Bluewire and the driver scorecard, PulseBot. This is Tenstreet's new AI tool. Rewards, because duh, it's Driver Appreciation Week. Woohoo! Okay, and then lastly, the new and improved Xchange summary report. So it looks like only about 33% of you have voted. What are you most excited to see today? Because we are going to do a live demo a little bit later, and we want to know what you're looking forward to seeing. Oh my gosh, you guys are voting so fast now. Okay, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to close it at about 5 seconds here. Okay, close to 70 of you have responded. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. I'm going to share the results. Okay, it looks like we have about 25% that want to see structured messaging. You are in luck. We're going to show you that a little later. Some safety updates. Okay, a close 23%, but it looks like PulseBot, Tenstreet's new AI tool, has gotten 31% of the votes today. Oh my gosh. Okay, you all are over Driver Appreciation Week already. It looks like it looks like only 7% of you want to see it. We're going to show it anyway. And then the new and improved Xchange summary report for all of you all who do employment verification using Tenstreet's Xchange system. About 15% of you want to see that. Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the opportunity, taking the time to go ahead and vote on that quick poll. We're excited to show you more of each of these tools as we proceed with our presentation today. So thanks for that. Ooh, okay, awesome. Now, if you are already like, we're like 2 slides in and you're like, okay, I've seen a lot. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of different terms and words and functionality. Go ahead into the handout section and download the 2024 new feature checklist. It has some clickable links in there to our support center where you can learn more about the different tools that you are interested in. Karley is showing that to us right now. And we have compiled this list to make it easy for you to conceptualize some of the new tools. Each of these sections, of course, as you can see, it has like a little explanation of it. And again, it's a clickable link as well. So thank you for showing us that, Karley. Okay, so we've talked about what's new in Driver Pulse for carriers. Next, let's talk about Pulse Plus. Okay, so when you think about Pulse Plus, I want you to imagine it this way. So there are some features that you already have access to just because you're a Tenstreet client. We love updating and upgrading the platform so that it meets those industry standards and actually helps drive innovation for the carriers who work with us, right? There are also some paid Pulse Plus pre-hire features. So we have segmented them into pre-hire and post-hire. So as you're looking at the screen, if you can see some examples of the ways that pre-hire Pulse Plus is going to be beneficial to your organization and post-hire Pulse Plus is going to be beneficial to your organization, it may be well worth the upgrade, okay? So like with the pre-hire features, it includes your ability to use PulseBot and Gen AI for the job policy responses and open-ended responses. And so that's what Karley's going to show us a little bit of on the screen here. And so again, that PulseBot is something you all wanted to see. And again, we wanted to just show you what this looks like, right? Because we have updated the layout of this screen for ease of use so that you can get in there, learn the tool, and start using the tool. Again, this is more like on the pre-app side before the person becomes hired. So that pre-hire features are also, they also include like customizable structured messaging. Okay, and so you are able to do a whole heck of a lot with the additional Pulse Plus features. Okay, now some of the Pulse Plus post-hire, y'all, okay, these names, but again, customizable structured messaging, including PulseBot responses and decision tree threads. What we're talking about here is creating nested messages that help you to decide, hey, if they respond this way, then we're going to request some additional information. Right now, Karley is in the Tenstreet control panel. If you are a primary user or have been given access by a primary user at your company, you might have already seen the control panel, but in the communication template section, this is how you'll review and manage those structured message templates. This is also how you're going to be able to add those nested messages or those decision tree threads that we've been talking so much about. Okay, and so this really helps you to anticipate how you're going to collect information from your current hired drivers, because again, some of this is post-hire features that are available with Pulse Plus. Okay, this is exciting. Now, there's a few other features that are available as well, but we want to leave plenty of time for the demo, okay? So we are going to move forward because you are going to receive a copy of this in about 24 hours. But if you have any questions, please use the questions box. We have two product specialists. We have Amanda Bebee and we have Karley Ullery here with me, and they're doing an excellent job and going to get all your questions answered today. Okay, all right, next, let's talk about what's new in Driver Pulse for drivers, okay? So there's Pulse News. Now, this is a really cool feature that allows drivers to stay updated with things that are going on in our industry. And so they can also customize the news feed in the settings in their Driver Pulse app. So it's just really cool. We want drivers to go to Driver Pulse, not just pre-hire when they're looking for their next position. There's a whole lot that they can do while they're hired with you. There's a safety mode that can be turned on, but there's also other useful features like training and completing forms and communicating with their safety department and staying up to date on the news with this new Pulse News feature. Okay. Now, there's also a job preferences update. So what Karley is going to show us is that drivers can apply additional filters when searching for open positions, and they can send structured messages based on those, okay? And so it's really cool. The job preferences allow them to set their own preferences for what's important to them in their next driving position. There's also pre-app messaging where drivers can ask carriers questions based on those job preferences. They can also pretty easily change those. And so, yep, Karley's showing this to us right now. We're able to see, okay, there's miles, pay, and there's home time. But if I wanted to ask a question, I could, okay, real quick. Ta-da! But also, if I wanted to ask another question that was not related to any of those top 3 preferences, I could do that as well, okay? Super duper cool. Yes. Okay, so next, let's talk about Truck Map. So we're back on the home screen of Driver Pulse, and Truck Map is an app that it has its own standalone app, but we've embedded Truck Map into Tenstreet. We acquired them a couple years ago, and this is where drivers can receive truck-specific routes and share their current progress with their carrier and their loved ones, right? And so Truck Map is super robust and it's wonderful. We absolutely love it and support the full use of that platform. It's embedded into Pulse for ease of use when for navigation, okay? And then last but not least, there's the DLP high risk area alerts. Now this is something that's super cool and it's available to any users of the Tenstreet Driver Pulse app. So this is where drivers using Truck Map will be shown route condition messages that alert them when approaching a high risk or high enforcement area as determined by driver's legal plan. They're partners of ours and we're excited to partner with them to bring this update to the Driver Pulse app. So this is super duper cool, okay? And it, again, this is an alert of what it looks like when you've entered a high risk area. The driver should proceed with caution, but govern themselves accordingly. We trust them on the road. They do an excellent job. Why not give them tools to help make what they already do even better? Okay. Now, the next section that we're going to transition to is what's new in recruiting. But I want to really quickly stop and ask, hey, Bebee, do we have any questions that need to be answered before we pile on more information today?
I've answered them as I've gone. I did have one ask about the Pulse Plus tab. Karley, could you click on the Pulse Plus drop down to show where that actually lives? So I did advise that if it's not seen, to go ahead and reach out to the account manager to get that added. And then I did also have somebody ask to see Bluewire, which I believe that may be on the agenda already.
Okay, all right, thank you. And so we do want everyone to leave today with their questions answered. Norlene, I love you and I miss you. Oh my gosh, I saw some folks that I've worked with throughout the years, and it's always exciting for us to see our clients who we work so closely with. So anyway, go ahead and ask those questions. Don't be shy. We will stop periodically to make sure that the whole group knows the questions that were asked. So do let us know what questions we can help answer because we are here for you. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, there's so many cool people on here. Okay, excellent. Now let's move on. We're talking about what's new in recruiting. Okay. Now I'm going to have to take a deep breath before I go through this list rapid fire style, right? But mostly because I want Karley to be able to show us each of these features just a little bit, right? We're doing what we call like a sneak peek, okay? So we're gonna have a lot of fun. So pre-application messaging. So what we're showing you now is in Driver Pulse, we already initiated, or the driver has already initiated a pre-application message. They haven't applied yet, they just have some questions. And when they ask those preference questions, they come into your dashboard under Pulse Plus, and you're able to continue that discussion in lots of really cool ways. So pre-application messaging is so cool. This allows you to answer driver questions before receiving a lead or application. Next, we're going to talk about MatchDM. So this is for drivers sending those pre-app messages through PulseChat. You can share your application link with them, and if they choose to apply, we call that a match, right? So again, MatchDM is really cool, and it's a way for you to more easily and quickly get someone who is interested in your company your application link so that you can have them apply, and the rest is history from there. Next is the job policy tool. So this lives in under the PulseBot section, but this is where you can document your policies and send auto reply messages to applicants asking common questions. Okay, so those are what Karley is showing us here. This is the job policy category settings tool that exists on the carrier side. So this is where you can define some of the answers to the different categories that we already have preset right here. Okay. Next is PulseBot. Okay, respond to applicants' questions after hours and on weekends. Again, this is a fundamental new recruiting tool that's going to help save you time and effort in lots of really cool ways. You can set it and forget it. You can make sure that you like respond or you intervene, because I want to make it very clear. The PulseBot is not intended to replace recruiter interaction. Human interaction is still foundational to creating a relationship with your incoming drivers so that you can hopefully retain them longer, make them really good, safe hired drivers, have a really great working relationship with them. And so the PulseBot is just there to help you out, to get some of those questions asked that you have to probably answer like over and over and over again. Yeah, let's automate those so that you can spend time as a recruiter answering the questions that are most relevant and most important and that require a little bit more detail. Okay, so we have seen PulseBot already be used in some really cool ways, and we're expecting to see even more once you all get in there too. Okay. So next there is Call Me Now. This is where you can initiate phone calls with matched applicants who agree to be contacted. So this helps you with your time to hire and your time to contact. You don't want an application to come into your dashboard and just like sit there for a few hours. You want to be able to identify folks who more closely meet your hiring criteria so that you can facilitate a conversation with them more quickly and more easily. Okay. And so that is the Call Me Now feature. Whew, okay. And then lastly is the Xchange summary report updates. Now, y'all know I'm an Xchange girly. I love employment verifications and Tenstreet's Xchange platform just in general, but we have given the Xchange summary report a facelift, okay? We've given it some Botox, we've given it an update, whatever you wanna call it, I love it. And this really has just modernized the screen, but we're also using structured messaging to help you facilitate conversations when you can't get a response from a previous employer, okay? How helpful is that? Very. Okay, I'm going to answer that question for you. And so what Karley is showing us here is the new Xchange summary report update. Again, all we have to do is just click Xchange summary report. It's already updated. You can see the information, and we just initiated a structured message directly from there. Okay, yay. Okay, we're super excited. Now, before we move on to what's new in marketing, I really want to very quickly share with you that in 2025, May 7th through 10th, we are having our next Tenstreet user conference. If you're not already registered, just go to the Tenstreet website, and there you'll see some information about getting registered and see all the layout, the details of everything we have planned for 2025. We are currently showing you updates that we released at this year's conference, and we're excited about May 7th through 10th of 2025. So just want to put that out there right now. Norlene said, hey, see you at the next conference. Hey, and I want everybody to meet us there. It's going to be a great time, not only because it's at the Bellagio in the beautiful Las Vegas, but also because we share wonderful system and platform updates, just like you're seeing right now at our user conference every year. Okay. All right, so what's new in marketing? Okay, so there's the merchant discovery tool, job highlights, and then there's a few new vendors as well. What Karley is going to show us right now is merchant discovery tool 2.0. Okay, and so what this does is it allows you to see your data in a little bit of a different way so that you can make better decisions about which vendors to place jobs with. We also have you covered if you are clueless and you're looking at this and you're like, it doesn't mean much to me. Just reach out to us because we have a full concierge team that would love to work with you on your job placement success. Okay, so you can rely on our dream team. Go ahead and click that button there. If you say, you know what, that's really cute, but I don't know what to do, rely on our concierge team. They're employed by Tenstreet, so they're Tenstreeters who have the benefit of working with lots of different carriers. They know the system in and out and can make recommendations and help you to meet your hiring needs. So again, use the Merchant Discovery Tool 2.0, but also rely on our concierge team if you need some help. Now there's a new addition to our active jobs tool that lets you briefly summarize the biggest advantages of that specific job. Now it has a character limit, so we don't want you to go all, a little too, we don't want it to be too much, right? But the whole purpose of it is, if you had to summarize this position, what would that be in just a few words, right? That is the job highlights tool, and it interacts with a few of the vendors that we have in the job store. Now, last but not least, new job store vendors. Okay, now I'm just going to kind of skip to the last one. It's Kijiji, and it apparently is Canada's version of Craigslist. So we're excited to partner with Kijiji and bring that vendor to the job store. There's also the Trucker, Google, HireMaster AI, and Truck Drivers USA. The job store is a very robust offering of lots of different vendors that you can place your jobs with so that you can advertise your open positions on those individual platforms, right? Again, we want to see you and your unique business and the unique ways that you service the industry. We want to see it succeed. So that's why we have lots of different vendors for you to choose from. Because baby, you got to diversify. Sometimes you got to sprinkle it around, but don't take my word for it. Contact Concierge for more for more information on that. All right. Oh, we are having so much fun. This is so great. Okay, so we're making pretty good timing. We're going to have enough time to do a really, really great demo. But next, we want to talk about what's new in onboarding. All right, Tenstreet's onboarding platform is a way for you to collect documentation that you need to keep your business running faster and to get those drivers hired more smoothly and more efficiently. A lot of times we're talking about forms that need to be signed. These are company policies. These are, it's you collecting documents. We call them all tasks, but they can be a few different types of things. And so with our onboarding updates this year, we have used the power of tagging to help facilitate more connections in the dashboard, okay? And so subject to subject tagging, this is where you can establish roles for subjects and link them together, like fleet owners and the drivers that they employ. And then this also helps with multi-signature form completion. So if you can imagine having a fleet owner who has some drivers that work for them, being able to send forms that include signatures from all parties before it returns to you as the carrier for that document to be countersigned. Right now, Karley, you are working fast to keep up with what I'm talking about. It's all good. I hope that people understand that this is a very big concept. And for some of you, you've already said, nope, not going to remember it, don't need it. But you'll be surprised at some of the wonderful use cases that our team has experienced in working through this new functionality with our client base. Okay, so just keep in mind that now you can facilitate those relationships, those connections in the dashboard, and it's going to help you do several different types of things. Okay. So subject to equipment tagging, subject to equipment forms, multiple signature forms, and then the time spent on training report. It's a wonderful report that we have created to help you see how much time it has taken for someone to complete the tasks that have been assigned to them. Many of you know that Tenstreet developed our own LMS or learning management system a few years ago, and we have built it up in a really, really great way. We have different languages like French and Spanish, but we also have continued to add training titles to that as well. And when you create a training course and send it out to your drivers, sometimes you want to know, like, how much time is it going to take them to complete it? Because maybe you want to work with your payroll department to make sure that they're paid for that training. Well, now you have a report. It's time spent on training. If you need help with this or anything that I've talked about related to recruiting, job store, onboarding, just go ahead and email account.managers@tenstreet.com, send it in to your account management team and say, hey, I need more information on these multi-signature forms, or hey, I need to know more about that time spent on training report. Can you provide it to me? Or whatever, right? You have people who are here dedicated, willing, and ready to help you to bridge the gap with what we're showing you and you know, what you want to learn, okay? Okay, so we've talked about a couple of those different areas. Next, we're going to move on to safety management. Now, it looks like safety management came in number 3 on the poll today, wanting to see those safety management updates. And so some of those include the post-hire scorecard, okay? Now, the post-hire scorecard has 2 different places that we're going to visit. In the configuration tab, this is where you as the carrier go in to manage the scorecard. You can turn on and off the different areas. Karley, you have a name for them. What are these little areas called? I forgot what they're called.
I know, dimensions.
Dimensions, wonderful. See, I was thinking departments, y'all, but each of these, we call them dimensions, and you can turn them off and on based on how you intend to integrate them into your driver scorecard. You can also set the weighted averages. We have some explanations here on the screen as well. But the idea is that you get to set up your driver scorecard, and then when you go into your hired driver, there is in the safety view, or in the view drop down rather, you're going to see the option for the driver scorecard. You're also going to see it on the roster view, okay? And this lets you see like a visual representation of where this driver is as far as the different dimensions that make up the scorecard, okay? Super duper cool. So I think Karley is showing us that now. Yeah, the scorecard, there it is. Ta-da! Okay, this is good, y'all. So again,
got a little mind of their own for a minute, but we are back.
all right. Okay, wonderful. Well, it wasn't that bad. It was good actually, because we just took a pause because again, I didn't want to move forward without everybody being able to see the scorecard. It's really cool. And it's right there for you to start using. It has a listing of all of the dimensions, and then it has that the circle there that lets you know what's going on with that specific driver. Now, back to the safety management tool, we're looking at the CSA automation update. It is here. And so essentially if you're using the silver or gold tier of our safety management solution, you've likely already given us access to your CSA data so that it can be populated in your dashboard. Now, also, you probably have the infraction action turned on, which is the automated training. And so what happens with this is that when a CSA event is discovered, we can automatically create a CSA, like create the event for you. So all you have to do is just go in and you can take a closer look. And so you see that little exclamation point right there, needs review. It's on the safety management view, but it's also in the safety management tool. If you go to the events tab, you'll be able to see that little signal, why am I signal? No. You can see the little icon there as well. Okay, so wonderful. So next are the safety certifications. Now, you know that we're really passionate about learning and about presenting information to users who have lots of experience and some who are just new to our industry. So these are internal trainings. We debuted the recruiter certifications a couple years ago, and now we have 4 subsets of the same trainings, but they're more safety specific. So those are all here for you to take, and you can encourage your team to take these trainings. Again, these are for users of the dashboard. These are not for drivers. These are for the end users of the Tenstreet system, so that you can really just bring your team up to speed and then take that as a launching pad to continue to increase their knowledge. So Karley, next we're going to show really quickly the Bluewire integration. So earlier, I think it was Chad who said, hey, I want to see Bluewire. And so if you go to tools and go into Compliance Center, you'll see a section for Bluewire here. And you will be able to see your Bluewire score, see a breakdown of what contributes to that score. And also, if you click the Bluewire button, it's going to take you to the Bluewire website. And so what we're talking about is how you can understand more about the reptile theory attacks and all of the metrics that make up your scores, from like the judicial hellholes and all the CSA basics and all of those types of things. Anyway, it's very interesting. And Steve from Bluewire came to our user conference and told us all about it. So be sure to take a look at that. It's super duper interesting. But yeah, we're excited about that, that integration with Bluewire. Okay, now the last couple of items here, I don't know that there's much to share or to show, but Karley is our product specialist, so she's going to show what she can show. Okay, the accident importer, you'll need to contact your account management team for a custom template to import your historical post-hire accident records into the dashboard. Again, we are bridging the gap between your record keeping processes of what may not have made it into Tenstreet just yet, and we have the ability to import those accidents into your dashboard for you now. And then last but not least, there's a DLP integration update. And so again, drivers using truck map will be shown route condition messages that alert them when they're approaching that high risk area. Okay, we've already seen that once before, but this is revolutionary. And so again, those updates are meant to help your drivers to monitor their selves while they're up and down these highways. Okay. Okay, now thanks so much for keeping up with me. We're excited about all of this. I am going a little fast because we want to leave enough time for the demo. And so Danny did just ask a question. Can you explain how to get to the areas we are discussing? Absolutely. So if you're in your Tenstreet dashboard and you're following along, you likely have access to a lot of these updates that we are sharing. But what I want you to do, Danny, is go into the GoToWebinar control panel, go to where it says handouts, and click on the 2024 checklist. Download a copy of that. Because we have some clickable links to our support center that will give you the specific instructions on how to get to all of the areas that we're talking about today. So you have that as a guide and as a reference. Yes, this new feature checklist. And then you'll also have a copy of this recording. So if there's something specific that we can show you how to get to today, just let us know. But other than that, you can use those resources and let us know if that was helpful or not. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about what's new in engagement, what's new in efficiency before we transition to the demo portion of today's webinar. But again, I can't stress enough that if you do have questions, please let us know. Now, we absolutely love doing these types of webinars, and we're so proud of a lot of these updates that we have made available to you. So if you have questions or comments about them, you can go ahead and put those in the chat too. We want to hear all about them. Okay, so now let's talk about what's new in engagement. And so we're going to take a look at PulseGeo really quickly and show you the welcome back messages. This is where you can deploy location-specific structured messages when a driver returns to a terminal, or they get to a specific shipper yard, or they get to you for orientation. You get to decide how you want to use these types of messages, and based on what's important to you. So we have a couple of really cool examples in here, but this is where you will define and create those different messages, and you'll also set the frequencies for when they're played. Is it just the very first time they arrive, or is this every single time? So those are really, really cool. Next, of course, we're talking about engagement. So leaderboards. This is where you can gamify the tools that you're running through Pulse to encourage drivers to compete in sweepstakes or wellness challenges, right? There's Audrey's face, that's Express Lane, one of our latest and greatest tools, but this is where the wellness lives here. The leaderboard functionality is in driver Pulse, so it's driver facing. But again, this is a way for you to gamify and get some increased engagement with your current drivers. Okay. Now, there's also Insights Gold. If you're familiar with our engagement suite, we're going to really briefly talk about Insights. Insights is an engagement platform that's designed to help you collect valuable pieces of information from your drivers. And so it's not just a couple of surveys, like, I'm not going to mention competitors, right? But this is way more than a step above that. This is engagement. These questions help facilitate and collect information that you're going to use to make your company better, right? And so now you have the ability to customize your insights survey questions. Now, there's two new schools of thought for insights. There's customization and there's also tailoring, right? And so we can now tailor the questions to fit the ways that you refer to your drivers and the lanes and the home time and the different departments, right? That's tailoring it. But Insights Gold now allows you to tailor or customize the actual survey questions as well. And so we're super excited about it. If you are a current Insights client, you probably have the silver tier. The gold tier gives you access to do quite a bit more. But there's also a new tool called the Analyze tab. And this is where you can filter survey results by question, recruiter, work list. This gives you the ability to deep dive into your data. And also you're going to get an account review call. And so we have a really, really great team that supports the Insights platform, especially the Insights Gold tool. And so if you already use Insights or if you're interested, you might want to reach out to your account management team so that they can loop in the retention team so we can talk more about Insights with you. Okay. Now, we are going to move forward through this last couple of sections here. There's some reward automation updates. It is National Truck Driver Appreciation Week, and we are so thankful for what truck drivers do every single day. There's now a feature in the tool that allows you to bulk assign rewards points. Okay, and so it is a cute little button right up there. Oh my gosh, you get to do a search for the drivers that you're looking for, and then there's another screen that allows you to select the category, the amount, and the message, and then you're able to just like set it and let it go do its thing. So if you haven't done something for Driver Appreciation Week yet, or if you're like, you know what, we've done some things, but we want to do a little bit more, go ahead and fund your rewards platform and then bulk assign some points out. Remember, 1 penny per point, and send those on out. But if you have questions, let us know. We're happy to help. Okay. Well, we already showed you the leaderboards with Pulse Wellness, so I don't think we really need to go there. If you have any questions about the leaderboards in general, whether it be sweepstakes or wellness, please let us know. We'll connect you to our in-house expert so that you can get some information about how to use those to your advantage. Okay. Now, lastly, we're going to talk about what's new in efficiency. And so this is where you get access to the True Fuel weekly scorecard, Pulse Nav, Pulse Geo, Weigh Station alerts, and then there's also True Loads Times inquiry tool. Okay, so efficiency is all about helping you and your operations team do what you already do, just better. Okay, and so True Fuel is a solution that's all around you saving fuel and coaching drivers on fuel efficiency. And so there are a whole lot of thought that we put into creating this weekly scorecard for you. So it's really, really, really cool. Pulse Nav, again, this is where you can send routes to drivers using Truck Map, all through the power of Driver Pulse. Pulse Geo is those video messages that we talked about. Again, it's using geofencing to determine when a specific type of message should be played. And then there's Weigh Station alerts to get alerted when a driver is stopped at a weigh station for an extended amount of time. This tool asks the driver, hey, are you having an inspection right now? Right, so that you can already know that an inspection is happening, and then your driver, of course, if you train them with the right procedure, they'll know to provide you documentation. And if you're already using safety management silver or gold, you're going to see that CSA information come through anyway. And then last but not least, specifically on the operations front of things, there's True Load Time. Now, this is where you can anticipate the likelihood of your trucks idling at a drop-off location in advance before you plan the route. And so this is a really cool tool that allows you to access information that we have amassed from a number of different sources. So again, True Load Time is super cool. It is the way of the future, especially for those in your operations and dispatch departments. Okay. Now, I've been doing a whole lot of talking, but before we transition over to talking about or seeing Karley do an amazing demo, I want to know if there are any questions that we need to answer. Bebee, what do you think? Any questions out there that we need to address with the group?
I think I'm getting them as we go along. Again, as a reminder, the webinar will be emailed to you, a recording of it, so that if you missed anything, and then also you'll be able to, if you want to reach out to your account manager or advisor, they can help you out with any of the additional features. There was a question about the pricing, and I would point out on the handouts that are attached to this webinar, that checklist is in there, and I think it's one of the last pages will break down which ones are the free and which ones are add-ons to the pricing. So
Okay.
if you're missing, you can reach out to your advisor for the pricing.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Yes, get that copy of that checklist, the 2024 new feature checklist. It's super duper cool. We spent a lot of time and effort compiling that list for you to make it something that's easy for you to use. Now, just like Amanda said, if you have any questions, reach out to account.managers@tenstreet.com. You can also feel free to email sales@tenstreet.com. Or if you know your advisor's email address, just go ahead and email them and just say, hey, Christy told me to reach out to ask you about this, right? Let them know that we sent you over to them. But now I want to take the last few minutes and encourage you to still ask questions, but we are going to tune in as Karley shows us a wonderful demo. And I believe that we're going to kind of focus on structured messaging. What do you think, Karley? Go for it.
Sounds great. As Christy said, we're going to focus here on structured messaging. It's such a huge revolutionary piece that we have added in. We have started everyone out with about 10 structured messages so that way you can get comfortable with it, kind of see examples on how to use it, build it into your process, and then as you get more comfortable, you can add additional ones through the control panel, manage access, and more. So we're going to go ahead and go through a few examples of how this works, the different ones that you guys have preloaded, and what the experience would be like for you and the driver sending those out. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So you can access these through PulseChat or through the subject view as you always have done Pulse messages. They're just stored here in your quick message, the little lightning bolt icon, and down at the bottom of the list, anything that has this little message bubble is a structured message. So we're going to start out with something real simple with such as the preferred orientation date. So say you're working with an applicant, you want to get them going, you can go ahead and say, are you able to come to orientation next week? It sends out to them, and let me go ahead and go back here. Oops, sorry. I was gonna pull these up between and missed that step. Okay, so are you able to come to orientation next week? A simple yes or no, and then that would come back here to your dashboard to you. And then go from there. So that one's super simple, straightforward, but at least it gives them just like a yes or no, and it has that question stored for you. Now, if you want to step it up a notch, you can go ahead and do, let's say we want to ask for the med card. So we're going to say med card request. Can you send me your medical card, please? And then you can actually, it gives them an uploader option, so they can say tap here to upload. It actually selects their and shows their stored Pulse documents. So if they've already taken a picture or have photos, you know, in their phone album, they've already stored them in Pulse. It already has it right there for them. They can go ahead and send that. So I think that was like 3 clicks. It sends that over to them. You get it here back in the dashboard. You'll always get those notifications. And then you can even save it to the documents right here. So you can choose category, type, expiration date, and it is filed away, I think 3 more clicks again right here. So it's really, really streamlining the processes and the workflows you have. So again, just as you get more comfortable, you can add, we can work on adding additional ones like this that have those workflows. Again, just streamlining, you know, and saving you clicks on things that you guys repeat over and over again all day long. There is another example if you really want to step it up a notch, where we can say, let's see here, we're going to do kind of 2 steps. So we're going to request a CDL and then ask, hey, when can you have a call with the hiring manager? So we're going to send the initial one of send me a copy of your CDL. It's going to come in here. Again, we'll just act like this is the CDL right now. Send it in. And then once that's sent in, it will ask, okay, cool. Now select a date. So you do still have it will still come in here. You will still need to view the document. And then if it's good, so in this case, it wasn't the right document, but you would be able to view, save the document, and move on. So it's really streamlining, again, 2 processes in one here. We have some other examples and the starter pack that we did add for you. So go ahead and check those out. Again, go to the quick message icon here and kind of check out the different ones that we've sent you. Or I'm sorry, started you out with. A couple of post-hire examples I wanted to walk through too. So this isn't just for recruiting and onboarding. They're really useful as well post-hire. I'm sure you can think of plenty of use cases. But 2 that we kind of, wanted to focus on was, again, starting off just real simple. We could say, hey, maybe they said that they needed to be home soon and you just wanted to get that kind of nailed down. We can see, forgetting my alphabet, home time. Do you need home time soon? And that would come in, say yes or no. You could leave it just like that, or you can have it send a date picker back. So you could have set the date, it sends over, you as their manager would get that information back and move along. So as you can see, this is really neat. It's going to, again, I know I've said it multiple times, but just really, think of all the possibilities and opportunities where you could use this. This date could go into a tag. This date could trigger, well, not necessarily a date, but a response could trigger a process going off. There's all sorts of different things. So if you needed that date to go into a tag, we can get that set up. Some of those nested or like those automation ones where it's applying a tag would require an upgrade. So definitely feel free to talk through the different options with your account manager advisor and just see what we can get set up here with the free package that you have.
Wonderful. And so Karley, I think one of the biggest points about structured messaging from my perspective is if you are a single recruiter or if you're a part of a recruiting team, this still works super well. If you are a single recruiter, you can set up your structured messaging templates to really just help you so that you're not copying and pasting or rekeying, retyping the same information all the time, right? Because you already know what you're going to ask and you can go ahead and just send it out to collect information. But for those of you who are a part of a recruiting team, it's important that the team be unified and be using the same verbiage, and you can share information about what's working and what's not amongst your team. But again, I think the consistency is really, really helpful here. So what else would you say about that with structured messaging as one of the really big benefits of integrating them into your processes?
Yep, I absolutely love the example we went through where it asks for the med card or the CDL copy, and then right away it asks, okay, when can you meet with the hiring manager? I mean, if you know every single time you're going to ask this question, then have this follow-up question, that way it keeps your team unified just in the process and you don't miss a step in between. And so it's really neat that it can just as soon as one question's answered, it'll shoot off another. That way you're getting the responses faster as well, because you're not waiting on the driver to respond, then the recruiter to respond, then the driver to have to respond. The recruiter's essentially responding right away by asking another question. So it's super neat.
Yes, 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 yes. And again, we're going to be using the structured messaging functionality in several different places. Right now, they're managed in the Tenstreet control panel, but just like we saw with the Xchange summary report update, the structured message is already built into that tool. And we're looking for even more places to integrate this feature because it's super duper helpful in facilitating a collection of the information that you need to keep things running. So it does require a little forethought. But once it's configured, it's super, super helpful for your teams. So, all right. Well, is there anything else that you want to show us today, Karley?
I think we are out of time, but this is fun. So yeah.
Yay. Okay, awesome. Yeah, oh, well, we are just about at time. And so again, to reiterate, go to the handout section and get a copy of that 2024 new feature checklist that we've created for you. If you have any questions, please reach out to sales@tenstreet.com or account.managers@tenstreet.com. Do not hesitate to go into your dashboard and play around with some of these new features. If you already know how to get to the Tenstreet Support Center, use the Support Center to your advantage to learn more about the tools, but don't spend too much time trying to figure it out on your own. Reach out to us because we are happy to share with you the clicks and the tricks to success. So this has been Going for Gold, Adopt Tenstreet's new features for a winning strategy webinar. My name is Christy Choice, but I have been joined by Karley and Bebee. We'll just call her Bebee. She's Amanda Bebee. But I've been joined by those two today, and we've had a really great time with you. If you have any questions, we look forward to hearing those. But other than that, you all have a really great day, and thanks again for joining. Bye-bye.